So our next speaker is Jae Vanjie, pronouns they, them.
Thank you. Oh, hey everyone, so amazing to see all these beautiful faces here again. I recognise some of you from last year, and it's just so great to see everyone here today. Probably all feeling anxious and scared as I am right now, because we don't feel safe leaving our homes a lot of the time. And yeah, so I'm just going to start. So my name is Jae, and I'm a person of colour, trans non-binary, and a proud sex worker. My pronouns are they, them, and if you need a reminder of that, just think to yourself, they have a great butt. Now, I haven't been told this by anyone, but I am trying to watch my mouth today, because frankly, if a dick isn't falling out of it, the truth is falling out of it. And nobody hates the truth like the few incognito GCs that we have hidden amongst the crowd right now. As we saw last year, they'll go to any length to paint a picture of us as evil, wrong, and nasty. So let's give them something to talk about that isn't our genitals for once. Because truth is power, and we all know that they have no power. So, I want to start by thanking everyone at Trans Activism UK, and everybody who made it happen, everybody that came here, everybody that proclaims trans rights are human rights, to everybody, because not only is it factual, it's a statement. It isn't just a trendy topic or something for self-professed allies to tweet about to gain clout for posting once. It's a safety net statement that means so much in just 5 simple words. Repeat it after me and let's show them how powerful 5 words can be. Trans rights are human rights.
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 And once more. Trans rights are human rights.
Trans rights are human rights.
I fucking love you.
We fucking love you. We love you,
Thank you. Sorry, this is a long fucking speech. I apologise. Oh, there's my mouth. Sorry. It feels weird just being here protesting in Pride Month, when Pride began as a protest for queer freedom in the UK 50 years ago. Now, Pride as a protest is emblazoned upon stickers and badges, being stepped upon by a sea of primarily white gay men who party for 30 days of a year. 30 days in which rainbow flags are performatively placed in windows of every business and company, never to be seen again come July the 1st. Now, I don't know about you, but pride doesn't come from that. Pride comes from standing here and being as we are in this community together, fighting for our existence. We're fighting for the same fight for ourselves, for our trans friends and family members, for those that are yet to come into this world, and for those of us that we've lost. This is for you. This isn't just a world that doesn't want us to not be safe. This is a world that wants us to disappear. And it breaks my heart that we have lost so many who didn't feel safe, didn't get help, and didn't have the love and support they needed to just be who they are. We can't just want it to stop happening, we have to demand it to stop happening. So, a little history on me. I'm South Asian, Spanish, Black Caribbean, and English. So I'm a combination of beautiful, vibrant, bold, and extraordinary cultures. And English. And when I was asked to speak here this year, I was honoured just to be asked again, but also horrified, because how do we put into words the brevity of hate that we face? Should I come up here and do an interpretive dance to Peach's Fuck the Pain Away? Maybe next year. Trust me, you don't want to see me dance.
Yes, we do.
Today I want to speak a little about one of the many hardships I faced and overcome. And I believe that trans and BIPOC people's stories of resilience shouldn't be trauma-porned by cis folk, but I also know how many of you need to hear these stories to just attempt to grasp the magnitude of who we are and what we are fighting. And I also have to warn you that this is an incredibly sensitive topic, but it needs to be spoken about. And I hope that it resonates with some of you beautiful people out there. Growing up like all of this on Colonizer Island wasn't easy. I was alone most of the time in a family who were too busy trying to assimilate in a country that didn't want them to assimilate for them to be able to show love. My knowledge of my family's history is vague because they wanted it to be as if we were just magicked here. As if bricks through a window or people spitting at us in the street was normal. As if being bullied for the colour of my skin and obvious queerness and then going home to abuse was just reality that I had to accept. And so I sat in my room alone, watching The Little Mermaid on VHS and dreaming of one day being able to be the ethereal being that I was not physically. As time went on, through bullying, abuse and controlling behaviour from others, I wound up hating myself so much, hating my reflection so much, that I developed an eating disorder and body dysmorphia. I didn't just develop it, it gripped me, it consumed me, and it broke me. Sorry. Every second of the day became about calories and exercise, supplements and self-loathing. Initially, I attempted to get help, but was almost laughed out of facilities and inevitably ignored. That told me to just not exist anymore. Whenever I looked in the mirror, as my body disappeared, I felt powerful. For once in my life, I was in control and nobody could take that away from me. But I wasn't powerful. I was lost, and displaced dysphoria was subjecting me to thinking that rather than existing as I really am, it was better to not exist at all. I no longer wanted to breathe. I was, of course, at this time aware I was trans. I've always been aware, but I kept pushing it down. Sometimes that knowledge was the only thing that I was swallowing. But knowing the fear, hatred, and bigotry towards trans people, towards our community in this world, scared me into silence. At this point, I was so consumed in the eating disorder that I became addicted to taking laxatives every day. Please write that down, turf rhetoric detectives in the crowd.
I'll even give you the headline, pill-popping prostitute for free, seeing as you'll have no original thoughts or concepts in your minds. I wasn't just torturing my body daily, I was breaking it down, piece by piece. The world either wanted me to be something I was not, or make me disappear. And that made me want to disappear. A year ago, I finally started to tell people I was non-binary. And for the first time in my life, I could sleep peacefully. I could breathe clearly. I started to see my body as the beautiful being it is, rather than everything it's not. Because a trans body is a trans body, and I do not need to meet anyone's approval or standard to exist. I started to not only live, but to thrive. I started to see myself as a person, rather than the mistake I was always labelled as. The colour of my skin is not a flaw, it's a joy. My ethnic features, as people called them, are not wrong. They are so right.
Because owning who I was didn't just open the door to gender euphoria, it pulled me in full force and opened my eyes to the beauty that lay inside of me, locked behind the trauma. I'm now beautiful on my own terms, and I own it. I make the rules on how I live my life and speak on who I am. And by the way, I don't identify as non-binary. I am non-binary. Still shaking. Of course, as much gender euphoria as I felt, I was also met with the negative. I lost work because a lot of cis men don't like being told what to call you and how to treat you. And then came the threat, shaming and abuse. Even just being announced as a speaker at last year's protest, I found myself being misgendered, sex work shamed, kink shamed by a group of trolls, to the point I wasn't sure if I was safe to be here by myself. They didn't just want me to not speak, they wanted to silence me. They wanted to silence all of us. Because TERFs fight by shutting marginalised people down, by getting our accounts restricted and removed, by getting our sources of income removed, by doxing our details publicly whilst we fight with the truth. Why do they fight dirty, you might ask? Because this government and society taught them to. If it wasn't for the beautiful community around me, as you all are today, I wouldn't have felt protected enough to get up here and take this mic in my hand and speak my truth. And not only do we deserve that safety every damn day, we are owed it. Trans joy is beautiful. Trans joy is power, and they want that power. This is a direct statement to the government. Do your job. You cannot profess to be looking out for everybody when you willingly see so many lost from your lack of care, knowledge or understanding of trans people. We are scared, we are angry, but most of all, we are human. You can profess that trans identities are less than 1% of the population all you want, but we are not a statistic, we are a reality. Here are voices, here are stories, and here what we need to survive. And when you do any and everything you can to protect the top 1% of privileged white male society, it's no wonder we don't feel safe. All trans folks have is their hatred for us, and I pity them. I pity them for hating their lives so much that they have to focus on ours, the lives of people who not only know who we are, but are freely willing to proudly live and just be who we are. So on days like today, we're made to take to the streets we're often scared to walk on, to fight for our rights, our existence, and our freedom. And none of us are up here fighting with violence or misinformation or hatred. We're fighting with our words. We're fighting with our truth. If a cisgender woman needs gender-affirming medication or surgery, she gets it. If a cisgender man needs gender-affirming medication or surgery, he gets it. So remind me again why we're made to jump through expensive and ridiculous loopholes to be able to get the same, yet people still say we're equal. We are not going anywhere. Not only have we always been here, we will always be here. We are not a problem that can be erased. We are a reality. So face reality. Conversion therapy is not the answer. Stripping people of their abortion rights, whether they be a woman, a trans man, a non-binary person, is not the answer. Deportation of people who are owed a safe existence in this world is not the answer. We are the answer. This is the end, I promise. We aren't just here today for ourselves, but for those of us who are no longer here, those of us yet to come, and those of us who aren't ready to come out as trans yet. Those of us who aren't heard due to their ethnicity, disability, gender, lack of gender, anything. We see you. We fight for you. And I just want to close, my darlings, by simply saying, if they want us to stop breathing, I beg of you, don't stop breathing, because I now refuse to stop breathing. Thank you.